Child safety in cars. Many of us get it wrong. That's our Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. This is National Child Passenger Safety Week. There's some new data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And joining us is NHTSA Acting Administrator Ann Carlson. Thank you for taking time with us, Ann.
Sure. Thanks, Fred. Good to be here.
Well, there is some new data that shows just how dangerous improperly installed child car seats can be. Can you share some of what you've gathered?
Sure. In 2021, so that's the last year we have really solid data, almost 1,200 children were killed in traffic crashes. It's still the #1 cause of death for kids. But properly installed car seats make a huge difference in making your child safer. So we estimate that a child is about 71% safer, an infant is, if in a properly installed car seat. And for toddlers, that's over 50%. But here's another important statistic. About half of car seats are not installed properly. So one of the things we're trying to do this week is to call attention to the fact that you need to get the right seat for your child, and you need to make sure that it's properly installed.
So what is being done to help educate and inform?
Sure. There's two different things. One, this week on Saturday around the country, often at police stations or fire stations, you can take your car with the car seat in it to make sure that it's properly installed. We have certified technicians who are working. It's free to do that. And if you want to find out two things, one, the location of where to go, and also the proper seat for your child, you can go to our website. That's nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. There's all kinds of great information about good seats, the right seat for the for a child that you have the particular age of your child, the weight, the height, etc. And then you can also, of course, look at the manufacturer installation instructions, but you really got to follow them carefully and make sure the seat is anchored in properly, or using, if it's a booster seat, you're using the seat belt in the right way, and so forth.
You know, if memory serves, I think hospitals may give new parents some instruction before they leave with a baby and help out. But after that, very often you're on your own. There are instructions that come with car seats that you might buy, but it's not always easy.
No, they're especially the rear-facing seats, but they're so important because they really protect the most precious cargo you could possibly put in a car, and that's an infant. And toddlers can sit in rear-facing seats too, but you need to make sure they're installed correctly. And again, that's why this Saturday, as part of National Child Passenger Safety Week, we have these technicians all over the country, police stations, fire stations, etc., who will check to make sure that your seat is installed properly.
Terrific. And any thoughts about whether or not these systems can be made easier, designed to make them easier for parents, grandparents, other caregivers?
Well, we do a lot of work. It's also, in addition to communicating about safety, we do a lot of work to try to get car seats and auto manufacturers to have seats that are compatible with car seats. And so, in fact, we've just issued a new rule just last Friday that will make the car seats more compatible with the back seat. But one thing that's tricky is you really got to get it anchored in there correctly to make sure that your child is safe. So they can be a little tricky. You can follow the manufacturer's instructions, but that's also why we certify technicians who can check for free. You don't have to pay anything to go make sure that your seat is installed correctly.
Terrific. While we have you, if you don't mind, there was a recent report that said GM-backed Cruise was just days away from approval to mass produce the Origin robo-taxi without steering wheels. That, of course, were a tech report, so it's of interest to us. And their GM also unveiled a wheelchair-accessible version of this. Is there any update on where the approval is and how soon it might come?
So we haven't made a decision yet on the petition. GM did petition to allow what's called its Origin vehicle, which is not compliant with all our federal motor vehicle safety standards. They did petition to receive an exemption, and we're still considering that, and we'll let you know as soon as we've made a decision.
And it takes a while to go through this process, I suppose?
Yes, there are all sorts of things we need to do. We need to publish the notice in the Federal Register. We need to let the public comment. We often seek additional information from the petitioner about how the vehicle works. It's a very complicated process.
Even when it's just going to be a limited production like this, I guess.
Well, we're putting vehicles on the road that don't comply with all the safety standards. That's the question, whether we should do that. So we got to make sure we get that right because we want to keep people safe.
Terrific. Well, thank you for taking that question. And Ann Carlson, thanks for the work that you and the team at NHTSA do on behalf of all of us. And thanks for spending time with us.
Great. Thank you, Fred.